everyone. Welcome to this week's episode of the Author Collaborative. As always, I will be talking to a guest whose book I have read and enjoyed. My guest this week is a blogger and an author, Cindy and Silva, and in fact, her blog inspired some of the stories from my latest book, Heartstrings and Harmonies. So I'm really excited to talk to her. I read her book Avishka. It is a short story and really enjoyed it. I'm going to talk to her about that book and about her blogging and authoring journey. Please stay tuned. I am going to invite her to the live now. Do stay connected again. Hopefully, the problem would get resolved now. Uh, it seems that Cindy's app was not updated. Probably that was why we were facing glitches in trying to start the episode a couple of times. Okay. The guest has not joined yet. Let's wait for them. She should be here soon because we just had a conversation. Okay, hi, Cindy is here. I'm just going to start the camera again. I have sent you an invitation, Cindy. See if you can accept it now. Oh, finally. Hi.
Oh gosh, that was
See, the advantage of doing so many lives is that somehow you figure out what the glitch is.
yeah, my goodness. I didn't even know that my Instagram was not updated.
Okay, I'm so happy finally we are able to do this. I was this close to saying that we are postponing it. So, first of all, welcome to the show. So happy to have you here.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me.
And I was telling the audience that I have read your book. So before we go on to the book, please tell the audience about yourself first.
Well, I'm a mom of two, and I started writing after my daughter was 3. Before that, I was working in a customer service organization and customer service in a logistics organization.
Okay.
And I quit it and I came to India and I got pregnant with my daughter. And then I decided that I needed a break. And the break has stretched on for now, what, 12 years? Yeah.
Okay. So how old are your kids now?
7 and 11.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Wonderful. So we let's talk about the book that I have read, Avishka, and it's a short story.
Yes.
Before we say anything more and I ask you any questions, let us just show the audience the book cover, and then I will also read out something.
Sure.
It's a beautiful cover. I must tell you that because I don't think I've told you that. Is this a crayon painting by any chance? Because it seems like that.
No, no, it's my friend's face and I've edited it in Photoshop.
Okay. Oh, lovely.
Yeah.
Because it really looks like someone has done a crayon painting.
Yeah,
So the
yeah.
effect is coming out really well. Oh, okay. So as I was saying, this is a short story. I'm just going to read out a few passages from the first chapter itself. Avishka sat fuming in her two-bedroom apartment on Pari Street. Is it? Am I pronouncing it correctly?
What is
Or
that?
is it
Sorry?
Pari Street or Pari Street in
Pari.
Bangalore? Pari.
Pari.
Pari Street, 5th block, Jayanagar, Bangalore. She was annoyed, frustrated, and almost thought of giving up her life in order to escape the situation she was in. Outside, the global pandemic was creating a mess, but there was a much more complicated chaos spinning within her, maybe worse, with a mix of emotions, regret, and love. 15 years ago, Avishka was an independently happy young woman, mentally and financially. She took nonsense from no one. The oldest of the four that her parents brought up, she was used to command and conquer. Her siblings were more like her children who would look up to her when things were bad with their parents. She would be their savior in almost every situation. Though she was tempted at times, Avishka ignored all the boys who showered her with gifts and love. She had made up her mind to marry only the one her parents would choose for her. She loved her parents a lot and believed that they could never go wrong. After all, they did have several years of marriage experience. Avishka was barely 20 when she married Atharva. The pair was brought together by the elders in the family who felt that they were a perfect match, a well educated girl and an almost successful restaurateur. More, both of them tied the knot under different circumstances. So that's how the story begins, and then we go on to learn how their marriage spans over the period of 15 years. It's
Yeah.
not always a smooth flowing one, and that's why the story is so interesting and also realistic.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's never a bed of roses.
exactly. Yeah, and it's never what we are made to believe in the movies and books that we love so much.
Totally. Mills and Boons, especially.
Exactly. So my first question actually to you is that since you were a blogger first and then you became an author, and also because author means a lot of different things, I want to understand from you, in your experience and opinion, should a blogger opt to become an author? If yes, why? And if not, why?
Um, so I think anybody who likes to write can be an author. I mean, they just need to have the time and patience to write, review, think, probably have a plot in mind, have a story in mind that they want to get out
Hmm.
there, and but they just need to have that time and the motivation to be an author. And more than just wanting to be an author and I just want to write a book and I just want to be famous and I just want to make money out of it, more than that, they need to have the passion for writing.
Right.
Uh, yeah, because I mean, all of us who write are authors. We are author of
Hmm.
something or the other. But for me, authors are Enid Blyton,
Hmm.
Sidney Sheldon, and
Hmm.
Agatha Christie, and those kind of things. So those kind of authors, they are the authors that I've grown up reading, and I've enjoyed their books. So now it's mostly an easy read. It's different. It's different.
Hmm.
There's no in not many books will I find the depth that is
Hmm.
required for a crime thriller or something like that. Not that I can write all that, of course, but I am an avid reader and I know what I want in the story that I read. So I think whether blogger or not, you opt to become an author only when you have the passion to write and a story in your mind, and you want to take time and get that story out there, in a very good way. I mean, you just don't want to write something and put it out there just for the heck of it. At least I am like that because in spite of the two books that I've just written,
Hmm.
I want to take my time and write another book, probably. I mean,
Hmm.
if I have a story in mind. So, yeah, probably maybe the next one will be another 2, 3 years later.
Okay. So you have consciously taken a break from writing a book?
No, no, it's not like I am determined to write a book. Because I will write a book only if I got something in mind. I
Hmm.
already have the passion for writing, and I keep writing. So I just need to have that story that will work in my mind,
Hmm.
and the time to sit and think about it and write it, and then I mean, Avishka, for example, I have taken about 2, 3 months on it. it, and I was reviewing it and reading it every 4 5 days every week, and it took it took a long time for me to review it, and every time I was reading it I was making changes,
Hmm.
so I know the work that went into that one book.
Hmm.
Of course, it was on Kindle, so there was no publisher involved. But just to get that book to my satisfaction
Hmm.
was a lot. So if I plan to write a book, write another book, would be because I have a story in mind and I want to get that story out there.
Yeah, because I'm also a blogger and an author, what you said is definitely true. But the one point that you said about, becoming famous, I think most people are like that. The biggest motivation, I feel, is that glamour attached to the label of an author or having a book out. And I feel that most bloggers don't really understand the depth of what goes into book publishing before plunging into something like this. So
Yeah.
I would say that decide what your purpose is. Do you want to become famous? Do you want to earn money? That's very important. And before all of that, also try to understand what goes into it.
Yeah.
That the right time can only be decided by you, but that right time should be associated with the understanding of what goes behind all of it, I feel.
True, true. I mean, some of them have to think even before becoming bloggers because they become bloggers only because they want to make money or something like that. It's not
Hmm.
the passion of writing at all. They just think they have the passion of writing. So
Uh,
I think that
Again,
needs
with
to
that
be,
also, I think that that popularity wala label is attached with becoming a blogger also.
yeah.
I feel that's the
No,
motivation there also.
many people have asked me, how do I want to start writing. I want to become a blogger, and I want to earn money from this thing. And I said, yeah, I can't even pay my mobile bills. I mean, what are you talking about? Like, where, what are you talking? So I just had this conversation like 2 weeks ago, and someone was telling me that no, these bloggers they earn in lakhs, and I said just please introduce me to them. I want to know who these people are because I don't know anybody who's just doing blogging and earning so much unless they are working separately. They have a job separately. So I don't know. I mean, I get irregular income here and there, but it's nothing close to L of the lakhs.
Let's just say sometimes it's only three figures or two figures.
Yeah, yeah.
Literally pennies. Yeah. So that brings me to my next question. Since we are both part of community, the blogging community, and you have been there longer and are much more prolific than I am, I want to understand what role does the blogging community play in your transition from a blogger to an author?
I think the blogging community helps with like Blog Charter, for example, they have this thing of publishing books and all that, so they helped in that way. And even if they don't have, I mean, being a part of a community, you get to learn a lot. You network with a lot of people, and you read a lot of different types of blogs and different types of thought processes. Uh, and there is no restriction to join a community. I mean, if you write, you can be part of a community. But if I really want a brutally honest opinion on my book, I need to go to certain people who will actually give me an honest opinion because um, writing reviews, we try not to make it too harsh because we want to encourage everybody to follow their passion or write or do the right thing or do what they feel like. But I don't know. I mean, I think there are pros and cons to everything. So, yeah, I wouldn't really totally depend on being a community to become an author because but it helps a lot because some of them have master classes and some of them have
Hmm.
people who have written books. Maybe you can take a couple of points from there, even though you're sitting for an hour on that webinar. But
Hmm.
I mean, it helps in some way. It helps being a part of
Hey, Block
the
Chatter is here.
community.
Hello, Block Chatter. We were just talking about you.
Yeah, hi, Block Chatter. Yeah, so it helps being a part of a community and you know what's happening around. Otherwise, if you're on your own, then you're not you don't understand what is SEO and what are the new things in like that day someone wrote something about plastics in breast milk or something like that,
Hmm.
so you get
Microplastic.
a lot of information out of this and then you go on Google and say okay, let me check on this and all that. Otherwise, at least for me, it's I'm totally oblivious oblivious to everything.
Yeah,
Unless
same
unless
here.
I'm a part of a community, I don't bother watching the news or reading the newspaper. I'm bad at that.
Same with me. So a lot of things. In fact, in Block Chatter's video that they did on for their 8th year birthday, I said the same thing because I learn a lot of things from the blogs. I'm so blissfully ignorant about some things.
Yeah, and
So
it's a good community. So
yeah.
it's nice.
Also, one thing I would like to add, and maybe you could agree with what I have to say, is that being part of a community, one thing that has helped me is that the reach for my content has increased. And not just the support. Yes, as you mentioned, sometimes we might not get honest feedback, but definitely it helps increase the reach of our content. Specifically, I'm talking about my books also. I have found a lot of new audience thanks to community.
Yeah, okay. I think I have also found audience. Before that, it was only my friends, I guess.
Yeah. So in that way, also community is really helpful.
Yeah. Especially when the community also wants to help the bloggers
Yeah.
put their blogs out there. Like Blogchatter has this link, you can put the link on their website and it'll go to their. So and that's a very nice option they have.
So Tanvi, we have a comment from Tanvi. She's saying, for me, it's about reaching more people so that they can understand and connect with what I wish to deliver, rather than only getting famous because sometimes people imitate even what's not ethical.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Of course, we both forgot to mention that point that we are of course looking for people who would relate to our content
Yeah.
and get what we are trying to say.
Yeah, true, true.
Okay, so that brings me to the end of the questions that I had for you. You have also read my latest book, Heartstrings and Harmonies. And
Yeah.
again, I am reiterating this point that your blog was, in fact, one of the inspirations behind some of the stories. So let's start with that.
So, firstly, I want to thank you for inviting me. Sorry, I've written it all down because I'm not very good at live. I'm better at writing. Um, so I released this book 3 years ago, and I've not marketed well. So thank you for this. Uh, Let me just say that I have read your book, except I think I've read all of your books except the poem collections because I'm not into that. And I must say that they're really good. And the fact that there are barely any grammatical errors, at least none that I could, pinpoint or something like that, it's a boon for a reader like me because I get distracted very easily when I read. And there are a lot of errors. I mean, one, two, you can, ignore, or maybe three also. But when you have a lot of errors, you get distracted. The flow is gone.
It's a
So yes. So I really liked your books, and this one is a nice, many stories into one. And I'm so glad that our challenge has helped you with this to shape your book. And I have read many of the stories before also on the challenges, of course. And Yeah, that's I mean, even in even in kid books, when I read the books to my kids, I if I find an error in that, I mean, it's out of my house the next day. I mean, I'm a bibliophile, so I cannot like just throw it in the bin. I just donate it or, give it to the help or someone because I mean, they will not look at all these errors. But I don't want my kids to read that. I'm like that. I don't know why, but I just realized that I do that also. That's why most of the books had gone to my help, and my kids were looking for them, and I was like, no, 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 that's too small for you. So, so
Nice. It's something new that
yeah,
I have learned. Yes, of course, having language issues in the book is a big, big turn off for me also.
yeah,
Uh, and I
because
do
I
believe
believe,
that,
I,
yes,
yeah, yeah, sorry, I believe that if you are good at a language, you should write in that language instead of trying your hand at another language. I mean, I would never even dare to write something in Hindi or, some even in my mother tongue. But I mean, I wouldn't, even I wouldn't even think of that because I'm really not good with that.
that is another point that I wanted to make in the blogger to author journey. Most people don't understand the value of good language and they just want to put out a book without realizing that, this needs a lot of rework.
Yeah,
ये
because
ऐसे
they want a story to be out there, and I understand that. I mean, maybe some of them just want, to write that story out and write that story down, but they don't take the time, effort, or to review it again. Because I received a book for review recently, and even the title had some issue on the top of each page. They write the title, and and
yeah.
they had that they've written the title on the top of the page, and even that had a spelling mistake. I was like, how can you do such a thing? I mean, in the content it is different, but when you're on the title, so I wrote the review and I subtly mentioned that there are a lot of grammatical errors and all that. And of course, I didn't get paid for that. I was supposed to. But the author did not like that. And I was not given another big book review again. So, I mean, so now I don't take any paid reviews because I learned my lesson. That's what you also learn over the years. I learned a lesson that I shouldn't take paid reviews because paid reviews means that you have to write
Good.
good about the book, otherwise they won't pay you. And that book was so distracting. I mean, the story was okay. The story was simple and nice and everything, but it wasn't something that I wanted to recommend to my friends or people who read, you
Hmm.
know. So yeah, so I left the review on my blog just like that, and I didn't get paid for it. That's all.
That's another point that I wanted to add. If you want to become an author from a blogger, please take it with a pinch of salt that you are going to get critical feedback also. That, you can't always expect people to say wow, wow, wow when your content is not that great.
Yeah.
And that's also something that you need to embrace. If someone is saying something uh, that's probably critical about your writing, it's for your own good. Take it with a pinch of salt and try and improve your writing. No.
Yeah, but even if they put the book out there, I mean, why don't they take the time to review it and read it and at least 5 times before, putting it out there? I'm sure if they know that much English, they know that, that title is wrong. I mean, they couldn't have made that kind of a mistake while writing it. So, I mean, reviewing also takes time and it
I
is
feel like
required for
I
putting a
know
book out
which
there.
book you are talking about.
Yeah, I don't want to take names, but yeah. That's
Yeah, Nilsi is totally enjoying our conversation. She's been sending hearts and she's also replying, saying, Manali, you just said it. Yeah, so yeah, self-realization, yes, definitely. हाँ बिल्कुल याद आ गया. We also had a conversation, Nilsi and I, recently. Well, this was very important. Like, we were also talking about this thing, that why don't people realize that they have made a mistake and just admit to doing it? No, if someone is pointing it out, don't feel offended also.
Yeah, I mean, they could have easily come back and said, oh, okay, I will pay you for this, but can you please, edit it that little bit? But they told me straight away that please don't mention about the grammatical errors, because the author does. I said, what does she want? I mean, what is expected then? If I'm not mentioning how was the story, and I want to promote the book. Their main aim is to promote the book, but I said, why would I promote the book when I have found so many faults in it? Like, why would I even do that, so I keep away from such promotions. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I don't know what we were talking about that we have went in this direction. I think we were talking about my book. That's where
Yeah.
this all started.
Yeah, and I mentioned that I barely found any grammatical errors in your book. So so it's easy to get flow into the story and feel it, and then suddenly there is a grammatical error and you're like, okay, okay, where was I? It happens.
Hmm.
So with your book, I mean, there are very few Indian authors that I've actually read several books of. Like I must have read here, I mean, one there, but there are a few authors that I've read many books of. Yeah.
Okay, so would you also like to read out a few passages? And before we do that, I just want to show the audience the cover and the book that we are talking about.
Yeah, please do that because I I don't know how to do that.
Yeah, I realize because you will also be reading out from a computer, so I don't think that's possible for you. So this is the book that we are talking about, Heartstrings and Harmonies, and I think four of the stories, if I'm remembering correctly, four of the stories are inspired from Cindy's blog.
One prompt challenge.
Yes. So
One
one
word,
prompt.
one word prompt
Yes.
challenge.
So there was food, there was bells, there was comparison, and one more that I'm forgetting. So these were the prompts
Support,
that
support.
support. Yes.
Yeah.
So these four stories out of the 29 stories are inspired by Cindy's blogs. Yes.
Good,
Okay.
good.
Good.
So I will read one of the stories that I really liked. Um, it's from 1 minute. I'll just get to the heading. The story's title is Oh Mates, I'm a Wanderer. So this story was inspired by Blog Chatter's blog hop. You stumble upon a thrift store in a quiet town and find dash dash dash. So the ending of the story goes like this. Can I read the ending or should I read only the beginning? What?
Spoilers.
Okay. That was my favorite part. Okay, okay. Okay, good you told me before I
Yeah.
started reading.
But some people will be able to guess because काफी Bollywood है.
Okay, so okay, I'll read it just in the middle. Smiling, she took out her phone, answering her mother's call and chattering off right away. Mom, you won't believe. Krish, where did you get that top? It's gorgeous, isn't it? There's this shop here called Trinkets and Treasures. It's kind of a thrift store. A few deep breaths and then, what's the name of its owner? And there's too much of interruption, sorry. Anand something. I don't know
There
his
are many
last name.
mommies here who would understand.
Yeah. Anand something. I don't know his last name. Why? Krisha's curiosity peaked, and then there was silence. You know, He was playing your favorite song. That's what made me step into his shop in the first place. Krisha chuckled and continued. Ashwina, her mother, chuckled too, then mumbled, Of course. She paused, and Krisha was sure she heard a sniffle. Mom, what's going on? Krisha asked, concerned. Do you remember my Shimla trip I told you about back when I was in college? Mm-hmm. I'm sending you a few photos from that trip. Call me once you've reached and see them and seen them. Ashwina hung up before Krisha could respond. Almost immediately, Krisha's phone buzzed incessantly, indicating a barrage of incoming messages. She opened her WhatsApp message to check out the photos. There were around 7, 8 of them. As they downloaded, Krisha felt her disbelief mounting as she viewed them one by one. For the second time in a few hours, Krisha's eyes popped out in shock. Yeah, I think I'll stop there.
Yeah, इसके ज्यादा पढ़ेंगे तो स्पॉइलर स्पॉइलर हो जाएगा.
But yeah,
Yes.
that was like, ooh, are you serious? I have like different feelings to your stories, so it's quite good.
So happy that you enjoyed that particular story. In fact, that was one of the stories that had me nervous. Like, थोड़ा ज्यादा बॉलीवुड हो रहा है मनाली.
No, I liked a couple. I liked many more actually. I just I'm too nervous to find them out right now on the laptop because I was reading it on the phone.
In fact, I'm glad that you read out that particular story because, as I mentioned, it was one of the stories which I was nervous about. So, thank you. And I'm glad you read it out really well. And you read out that particular part where the people are curious कि क्या हुआ.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So, you have any questions for me related to the book?
Yes, yes, I've written down questions for you. Uh, so you've written around what, almost 30 stories, 29. Have given due credit to many blog challenges, and I'm glad that one of them is us also. But what was the time span of taking part in so many challenges and writing so many stories? I mean, I'm sure it was not in the span of many years. So, how long did it take to put all these stories into one book?
Uh, so uh, I think it started in June because I'm a part of communities like the blog hubs that you do on your blog, and we also have blog chatter where we receive the weekly writing prompts for the blog hub that blog chatter hosts. So one of the first prompts that I received was in the newsletter where blog chatter had sent a writing prompt which was write a story inspired by your favorite song, and that was sometime in June, and that's when it started. So from June to I think I completed the first draft somewhere in January or the first week of Feb, which was uh, about
Yeah,
10 days, 10 to 15 days before the book's release. Of course, it was going through multiple rounds of editing as and when I completed the stories, because you can never publish a book the first draft you write. That's
yeah,
another point that uh, the bloggers who are wanting to convert to authors should keep in mind. जो
yeah,
तुम लिख रहे हो first draft, that should never be your published version.
true. It can't be at any cost.
Yes, and that's how you write a book which is error free,
Yeah,
like zero error free.
yeah,
So from June to, I would say, end of January, because the last one that I wrote was your January prompt, right?
yeah,
The
yeah,
last
yeah.
one we
Support.
had was support.
Yes.
Yeah. So no, not the end of January, because I completed that story uh, somewhere between 5th to 10th Jan. So the last entire month before the book's release. The book released on Valentine's Day, 14th February. So I was done with all the stories by the 5th, between the 5th or 10th of Jan. So yeah, from June to January, so 6 months, 6, 7 months.
Wow. That's a lot of stories.
Yes.
And
So, for
I've
me,
noticed that you don't submit one story for two challenges. You write different stories for each challenge.
yeah.
So even that is an achievement. I mean, it's like
So,
it's too much for me to think.
so specifically when I was using the writing challenges and the writing prompts for compiling this particular book, I was trying not to merge two challenges together because that would also give me one more story. Like, एक और story बढ़ जाएगी book में. That was the main motivation
Good
for
motivation.
doing that. Yeah. If I use
Yeah,
the
good
same
motivation.
challenge for same story for two challenges, I'll miss out on writing one more unique story which can be part of the book. That was the main motivation.
Yeah. No, but that's really nice. I mean, yeah, you can write so many stories. I can't even write one. I can't. I have to rack my brains if it's like fiction. I mean, I read a lot of fiction, but I can't write fiction at all. I mean, that needs a lot of I don't know, thinking and all that. So it's impossible.
Yeah, as someone was telling me a few weeks back, you need a different kind of motivation to be this creative and use your creativity in this manner.
Yeah.
Like all bloggers are creative, I feel, which is of course because we have to put out content on our blog, we have to be creative. But they were telling me that to use the way you use your creativity, that's a different kind of motivation.
Yeah, true. Hats off to you, but for doing 30 stories in about what, 6 months?
6 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Thank
Okay, so
you.
my second question is, your characters seem to be immersed in lyrics of various, I'm sure, Bollywood songs. They are not running the race of life or anything. They are always immersed in music. And I think your other books also have a playlist at the end, like this one does. And it's the first time that I've seen something like this. So, what inspired you to do it? I mean, what inspired you to do something like this?
Okay, so there are two main reasons here. One, of course, is the fact that I'm myself a music lover, and when I'm not writing, the music is almost always on in the background. It's like white noise. I can't function without music going on in the background. Even when we were doing the practice live, the music was on. If you, I don't know if you noticed
Yes,
it.
yes, I heard.
So yeah, music has to be on whenever I am not engaged in something very creative or something that needs 100% of my brain usage. So
Hmm.
music is always there in my life. I think that's the biggest motivation. And another thing was that somewhere I heard a couple of years ago where someone was saying that you cannot combine two forms of creativity. And I was like, no, that's not true. I'm going to take up this challenge very personally.
Okay, that is the first challenge then.
Yeah.
Before all these blog challenges, these are like, okay. No, but it's
Because
really amazing how you connect the Bollywood songs with those particular words. I mean, I've watched a lot of Bollywood movies, but I have no clue what they mean, and the songs. I forward the songs. That's why I don't know half the songs. But yeah, but that's commendable. I mean, joining the songs along with your stories and fitting them correctly. So
yeah,
yeah.
so that was the motivation. I wanted to try and portray that, yes, it is possible to combine two forms of art and in a manner that's not very confusing or very, takes away from either of the forms of art.
Mm, it's nice. Maybe next you might put some English music so I can.
Yeah, so yeah, a few readers have mentioned that when will we see English music in your stories and writing? This
Yeah.
is too much Bollywood for us.
But yeah, it
No,
takes a lot.
thank
But
you.
it's good. It's good. So yeah, I'm done with my question.
Yeah,
So
so now we move on to my favorite part of the show, which is the rapid fire round. Yay! Okay, I have my questions here. Would you like to go first?
yeah, can I ask all the questions at once? And then
Okay.
And then you ask yours.
No, that way it's a little less fun if you do that way. So I have figured out after doing almost 60 plus episodes of this show that when we do back and forth, the audience is more involved.
Oh, is it? Okay. All right. Uh, so I will ask you mine 1 minute.
Hmm.
So the mental health one was good, where Anjali is not sure about her feelings and Aman waited patiently for her to recover.
Hmm.
This story deserved the allocates you received for it. Name the story.
Something strange is happening, which is the
Awesome, awesome.
which is the English translation for the title song of Kuch Kuch Hota Hai.
Oh, oh
Quite
my goodness.
literally, it's the translation. Something strange is happening.
I never thought about that.
Oh, you
Kuch
did?
kuch
Oh
hota.
my God! So this is going to be a very epiphanic moment for you. All the all the story titles are like that.
Oh, I assume that the story is connected with the song, but I didn't know about the title.
The titles are also connected to the song. Like this
Okay.
intoxicated evening is Ye Sham Mastani. And then, okay, we have to do this now.
Oh my goodness. Okay, okay. See, so someone like me will not, get that thing right. I think I have to play the music. Maybe you have to put play over there. So you play the music and then,
That's a
I can,
good idea.
yeah,
Actually,
then
I
that
can do. Yeah, so the rain falls pitter patter is uh, that rain wala song. Okay, I'm also forgetting. Wow. Uh,
it's okay. 30 stories is not easy to remember. I was just giving you a rapid. Anyway, it's your turn now.
yeah, moving on. My first question to you is, if you were in your protagonist's place, which is Avishka, what would you have done and why?
Uh, so she was around 20, 21. I don't know. I would have just left. I don't know what
Yeah,
else
so
I've done. I
I have
mean,
to be honest with you.
now 15 years later, I mean, I'm married for 15 years. So now I would be like, I can handle it. But at 20, I don't know. Probably I would have left or I would have cried, gone back home or, something like that. So yeah, because I didn't have patience at that time. Patience was zero.
Yeah, and also with age, the tolerance level also goes down. I feel, yeah, I don't want this shit in my life. What is this?
No, you
Yeah.
you know how to handle it better, I think. I mean, shit always happens, but I just think you learn to handle the shit better. That's all.
Right.
Yeah.
But yes, I also felt like that when I was reading the story. Honestly, that I was like, इसकी जगह मैं होती तो मैं कब की चली गई होती. Like how and why is she in this toxic relationship?
Yeah, because I think everybody does not believe in divorce, separation, so they just stay and they handle it or tolerate it or
Hmm.
however you put it. I mean, it worked out for her in the
Hmm.
end, but those years of her life was, I would say, wasted because none of them tried to do anything, or maybe it was just a one-sided thing. So I mean, and in a relationship, you need to have both sides working on it.
Right.
So yeah, I think. All right,
Okay, your turn.
my turn. Okay. The first story was so beautiful. Imagine suddenly meeting someone you love but have not seen. She was an RJ or DJ or something. What's the guy's name?
Oh, what's the guy's name? Yeah, I have the book here. I can cheat.
No, you can't. It's the first story. Come on. You just mentioned the title just now. You were telling me
The
something about the
rain
title.
falls pitter patter.
Yeah.
That's the title of the story. I think the guy's name is from something else. Shreyas, I think. Shreyas.
Yes, 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 yes. Wow, that's awesome that you remember. Okay,
Yeah, थोड़ा
your
push
turn.
चाहिए. Okay. My next question to you is when choosing, because we are both KDP authors, so I want to understand from your experience, when choosing KDP as your publishing platform, uh, what is the one thing that you realized that you made a mistake about, and would do it differently now?
So I chose KDP because it was easy to publish, like everyone else. And I just wanted to put my story out there because I needed people to know that such things also exist. I mean, it's not totally fictional, but I won't write it. I won't write it in my book, of course. But I think I could have learned to market it better because I have not marketed. I mean, as you all know that, you know, I've published it 3 years ago, not like Manali, just last week. So I probably would have learned to market it better. I think that's something that I should work on if there is a next time.
Nilshi is laughing about the fiction. She, probably she realized that this is not fiction.
Yeah, fiction is just non-fiction and story mixed.
What is fiction? Fiction is a state of mind, I believe.
Yeah.
Okay, your turn.
Okay, my turn. Huh? 1 minute. So I was going first, right? Yeah, okay. Beauty and the Beast, that was a good one too. It's because it's not easy to accept someone with a deformed face, or maybe Love is Blind and we would have all overlooked it eventually. Name the story.
मोह मोह के धागे. These threads of love entwined. I remember it with the song. So
I have to
that,
I have to Google all these songs, the meaning of the songs.
so मोह मोह के धागे, it's translated to these threads of love.
Oh, okay, okay. That's why.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Some people are going to kill me for not knowing that. Anyway, yeah, your turn.
Okay. So, since we are talking about KDP authors, I want to know who are your top three, because you are also a KU user. So, I know that you must be reading a lot of Kindle Unlimited books. So, tell us, recommend us top three authors who are indie authors or Indian.
So
Let's talk
yeah,
about Indian.
I will go with Indian because I'm not sure whether they are independent or not, or maybe they were independent and now they're not. So I'm not sure about that. But like I said previously, that I have a very few Indian authors whose books I read. I mean, I keep reading their books. Otherwise, it's just a one-time read or anything like that. Yeah. Nilshi's comment. Okay. So my three, the three authors that I have read many books of would be Andalib Wajid. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. She writes nice books, novels, fast-paced, modern, everything. And Deveshi Guptu. I hope I'm pronouncing it right again. So I've read her Dragon Auntie series and these simple murder mysteries that she so beautifully puts together. And I like her writing. And
Jayashree. Just a second. Jayashree is saying hey. Hi, Jayashree.
oh, Jayashree, hi. She's my new blogger friend. And the third one is your book, you,
Wow. Oh,
Manju Desai. And you want me
thank
to
you.
say the word?
Thank you. So you have recommended three Indian authors. Dilip Wajid. I'm forgetting how to pronounce the second.
Debeshi Guptu.
Debishri Guptu.
Yeah.
Dragon Auntie.
Sorry?
Dragon Auntie series. The author
Dragon
who has
Auntie.
written.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Dragon Auntie. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That was the first book I read of hers. That is why I remember that one the most. But that is what kept me interested in her writing.
Okay.
So that is.
Yeah, Dilip, I can definitely say I also enjoy. I have read her three or four books of her, and she's really good.
Yeah.
And the other author that you mentioned, I've read a few bloggers. I mean, her books were all over Bookstagram some year ago or something. And
Rosgulla novels.
that
Yeah.
yes, that particular book I had seen a lot on a lot of book blogs and on Bookstagram a lot. So yeah, sure. She's also in my like attention में तो आ गए हैं, but I'm still to I'm still to pick up
So,
one of them. Yeah.
okay. So it's
Okay.
my turn.
Yes.
All right. Yummy samosa story was also good. The husband adores his wife's samosas. What was the wife's name?
Mitali. I can never forget that because Manali and Mitali are very similar names, no? That's why.
Yeah, even I was thinking the same thing. Initially, when I wrote it, I wrote Manali, and then I was like, no, no, I don't think it's her name. Then I went back. I was like, okay, okay.
So yeah, that the protagonist is Manali, and I can also tell you the song. Kabhi neem neem, kabhi shahad shahad.
My goodness.
Sometimes,
Okay.
sometimes bitter, sometimes sweet. See, the translation
Hmm.
is coming to you now.
Yes. I think I should have I should have been with you while reading the book. But I will read it in another way. I will tell you about my day next time. I mean,
Yeah.
on chat.
So Nilshri is completing the lyrics.
Yeah.
Okay. So my next question to you is a personal experience you haven't yet turned into a blog post, because I know that your blog posts are a lot around your personal life and experiences.
Yeah.
So an experience you want to convert into a blog post, but you haven't yet.
Maybe being a daughter-in-law.
That would be interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, I've not gone into that yet for
Hmm.
obvious reasons. So
Okay. I
I
am looking
would like
forward
to
to
keep that.
that
No, no, I don't think I'm gonna write it anytime soon. But yeah,
now. Yeah. Murky waters. Let's not get into that.
yeah, it's
Let's
dangerous.
collaborate. Nilshi is saying, let's collaborate. She also wants to write it on the topic, it seems.
I think we can get out an anthology on this.
Yeah, right here on this live, we have an anthology idea developing.
Yes, Nilfi is going to head it. She's going to be the compiler.
Yeah, Nilshi, you have the topic for your next anthology. Start. Definitely, chalo. Oh, she's already on with the idea.
Definitely.
Okay, so it's your turn now.
All right. So, Manav and Mansi, heartbreaking with a good ending. Pregnancy during lockdown, newlywed, husband is stuck somewhere. Even in Suchi's story, she is with a protective suit in a hospital, met her husband after 15 days, shows what people went through during the pandemic. Are these real stories inspired by true events or something totally made up in your head?
So, I have to admit that the Moonlight is Raining wala story, the one that you mentioned about the lockdown. See, I remember the title also.
Okay.
Yeah. Where the couple are in a long distance for because of the COVID-19 lockdown. That is actually inspired by my personal experience.
Oh,
Uh, yeah, my husband got a job in the Netherlands, and he moved here on the 31st of December 2019. And I was supposed to join him soon, but before my appointment at the embassy was finalized, I also remembered the date. It was 25th March, which is the same date I have used in the story. So
hmm.
yeah, 22nd March we had the lockdown, so I could not make it for the appointment, and obviously my plans to join him as soon as possible were derailed. And yes, we were also separated for like 8 months.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, that is inspired by a personal experience, and I also know a few people who had a similar experience. So a combination of
Okay.
those. And the hospital story again is inspired by a few doctors that I know in my life who are like the doctor in that story, and by the experiences shared by people who were in hospitals during that time, and uh, they they had to be there in isolation, and what helped them cope. So I asked them
Okay.
specifically, and they mentioned, most of them mentioned that because their doctor was so positive, they were able to stay positive during that entire period, because of course it wasn't easy for anyone.
Hmm. Yeah.
So yeah. Chinmay is here. Hello, Chinmay. Hello, both. We'll hear you, but once this is over, as I am at work now. Best wishes. Thank you so much, Chinmay.
Thank you so much. Even
Okay.
I'm going to watch this live again in the night.
Just to see how you have performed.
Yes.
I do that too. It's okay. Okay. My last question to you is a theme or genre you wish that was more explored in books and blogs. Why?
I think horror because
Hmm.
I haven't found a book yet that actually gave me the creeps. I've read a lot of love stories and all that, and crime thrillers, which are my favorite. But I've read, I think, 4 or 5 books. I've read 4 or 5 horror books, but they haven't scared me as much as the old horror movies used to. Or maybe
Hmm.
it's just the horror nowadays. Even the movies are not that scary. I mean,
I
they're boring sometimes.
recommend two things here. The latest movie, Shaitan, which is getting a lot of good reviews. Ajay Devgan and R. Madhavan. Uh, Probably you can check that out if you are a fan of horror. I All reliable sources have told me it's a very good
Oh, is
movie.
it? Okay, I have to watch it then.
And in author, I have to say Neil De Silva. If you are not already following him, you are missing out on a lot of good horror, because he's one of the leading horror writers in India currently.
Really? Okay, no, I have not read his books
Yeah.
yet.
So
Any
yes.
particular one that you recommend?
Uh, so I'm not a fan of horror. I
Oh,
stay away from that genre as much as possible, because I don't want to give myself sleepless nights and wake up in the night. Oh my god! Like, so,
okay.
uh, he, in fact, his authoring journey also started from KDP. So I think it was Maya's New Husband, the book, if I'm remembering correctly. That was the book.
Hey, I've read that one. Maya's new husband. Yeah, I've read that.
So
It's but it is not, or maybe I'm very difficult to scare. I don't know.
maybe, probably. That,
Yeah,
so that's a
maybe.
you problem.
Maybe I'll read some of his latest ones.
Yeah.
Let's
So
see.
I've heard only good things about his writing, and he's also one of the most prolific horror writers. In fact, he's doing a lot for promoting horror writing in India also.
Hmm. Yeah, I've
So,
seen his workshop somewhere. Someone was, yeah, I've seen this. I think Scholastic or someone is having him.
right. Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
yes.
yeah.
So yes, go watch Shaitan, and probably maybe you will write Neil's book, like Neil's books also.
Yeah, let me try. Thank you for
And I believe most
suggesting.
of his books are available on Kindle Unlimited, so you can give it a try.
Oh, okay. All right. That's a good one.
So I think that's it. I'm done with my questions. Do you have any more questions?
No, I think mine also are done. I've written
This was really fun,
yours.
and I think we have gone on for more than an hour now.
No, no,
Considering the fact that we began very
we
late.
started at 5:30 or I mean, not sorry, 4:30 or something. Because 4:20 I ran up to get my charger because my mobile was dying.
Okay, and then of
Yeah.
course it wasn't a smooth beginning,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. There is something to
but
learn.
I'm so glad we could do it.
Yeah.
I mean, I was very close to postponing it.
Uh, No, it
So thank
good.
you. Thank you so much for joining me today, Cindy. This was a very, very enlightening and fun conversation.
Yeah, even I had fun actually.
And you have one more book on Kindle, you were saying?
So that's the one I published through Block Chatter.
Okay.
Not Kindle. It's not in it's on Block Chatter.
Oh,
I've
okay.
not transferred it to Kindle or anything. That's a self-help book. That's
Okay.
something that you just read and you understand. But I don't know how many people have really understood what I've written. But yeah.
Okay.
So I don't
As
know if I.
Sunny was mentioning earlier, people should get what you're saying.
Yeah, that's
That's
what. Yeah. I mean, I've written my experiences in short paragraphs.
okay.
So that was just something I put into a book.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay. And any plans for publishing another book soon?
Yeah, I have this feeling that I want this particular story out, and I will, of course, name it fiction.
We will understand.
Yeah,
Uh,
so yeah, it should, but I will take my time. I have no
okay.
hurry or anything like that. So only once I'm satisfied with it, I will get it out there.
Okay. You have Book Mist here who's saying hi to you.
I I,
Okay.
I
So,
think I know her name. Shifali. I think she's Shifali.
okay. Hi, Shefali. If you are remembering correctly. If not, just hi, Book Mist.
Yeah.
Okay, so this was really fun. Thank you for joining me. And the episode will be available on my Instagram feed and my YouTube channel. So, and I
Okay.
look forward to doing this again. So please bring out another book soon. That was the reason why I asked that question.
Okay. Yeah, sure, no problem. And even I would be watching this recording. When will it be available? After 10 minutes,
Yeah,
20 minutes?
on on Instagram right away, like as
Oh,
soon
okay,
as we
okay.
are done. And that's Shibani. You were saying Shefali.
Shibani.
Sorry.
Okay,
Hi,
Shibani.
Shibani.
Sorry, Shibani.
Are you guys planning to put this recorded live session? Yes, it will be available on my Instagram feed and my YouTube channel. So
Yeah.
you can go ahead and check it out on both the platforms. Okay, so that's it. Thank you, Cindy, once
Yes.
again. And thank you for everyone. Thank you to everyone who joined us today and made this more interesting. Especially Nilshri, your comments were really funny and kept us motivated.
But can we see the comments when we
No,
play the live?
no, we
No.
can't.
Oh God.
That's,
Okay. Because I missed
that's
them. I
something
was
that
too nervous
Instagram
looking.
has to work on.
We'll send a report to them. Report.
Yes. Please take this suggestion in
Yes. Yes.
and put it into implementation. Okay, so have a great weekend. Thank you, everyone. Bye, Cindy.
Bye bye. See you.